Hey everybody! So today I thought we could talk about backpacking gear. Since backpacking season is coming up, I thought it'd be a good time to get everything out, organized, and maybe talk to you guys about how I like to organize my gear and what I like to bring along in many different seasons and situations. So let's get into it. So here are some general things that I'd like to talk to you guys about today. We've got shelter, sleep, miscellaneous little gear that I have organized here, and clothing. So let's get into it. I'm not really sure how to do this, so I'm just gonna wing it. But so first things first, I like to consult my gear checklist. This one specifically is for PCT gear, but I like to just have it all as a placeholder so I can kind of fiddle with it and see what I want to bring. So I've got sections here, so I'll probably just go by each section and take things off as I go to give myself room to organize a little bit more. So, first things first, you need something to put everything in. Now, I've got my ULA circuit. This is Whimsy. I love her very much. This is a custom pack that I made a couple years ago on the website, and it's lasted me, I think I've had it for about 3 years now. Love it. Love her. So, let's start with the pack. Next is a shelter and sleep system. You guys have met my new Durston X Dome 1 Plus with the carbon fiber stakes. This thing has enough room for me and all of my gear, and then some. The vestibule is so big that I can fit my backpack, shoes, everything that I need outside, so this thing is great. Shelter. Next is the sleep system. So I do need to make upgrades to this, which I will be sharing with you on an upcoming video here of my PCT gear, but this is what I have for now, and this is what I'll be using. Now, I've got my Nemo Switchback foam pad. This is an insulation foam pad to keep me a little bit warmer and just a little bit comfier out on the trail. I have my Nemo Tensor sleeping pad. This is an inflatable pad, and this thing is probably about 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old, but still holding strong. So, my Nemo. This is a newer edition. This is the Nemo Philo or Philo. I call it Philo pillow. It has a foam top and an inflatable bottom. This has elevated my sleep in the outdoors like nothing else. It's so comfortable and it keeps my head warm. So I like to stay nice and toasty warm. And I've got my Kelty sleeping bag with my silk and cotton liner that I put inside. Now this is to add a couple degrees extra warmth, and it also keeps my sleeping bag clean from all the dirt that I've accumulated from the trail. So, sleeping bag liner, always good. And this Kelty is a 600 fill down bag, so it has feather down in here. I do believe that it's goose. It's rated for 37 degrees, but I sleep very cold, so I am wanting to upgrade this, but this will get me through the spring and the summer just fine, but in the snow, it gets very cold. Okay, so that was my shelter and my sleep system. So let's go into some of my knickknacks that I have here. I always bring my Black Diamond trekking poles. These guys used to be for my shelter as well, but now they're just for comfort and safety. They help me get up hills, they save my knees from hurting when I go down hills, and they generally just make the experience a little bit better if you're just in a flow state. You're just kind of keeping some of that pressure off of your knees and your feet. So these things are really nice to at least have with you and carry on your bag. These are some of my toiletry, first aid, and just miscellaneous bags. So I can go over these in a little more detail in another video and do a little breakdown of what I put in here. But this is my first aid bag, which is just general first aid stuff. I do have a modified kit. So I have made this kit how I like it. It's not like one of the packs that you buy at the store, but it does have a lot of the same things that you would find in that pack. So, first aid. This is what's lovingly referred to as a poop kit. This has all of my toiletries that I'm going to need if I need to pop out into the the brush and use the restroom, I can just grab this. I don't have to bring my whole pack with me, or I can at least put my pack down away from me, just so everything's nice and clean and clear. So here's what we call a poop kit. This is my personal miscellaneous bag. Inside here I have extra safety equipment like an emergency blanket. I have repair kits for some of my gear, patches for my tent, patches for my sleeping pad, needle and thread in case I have to sew up anything for my tent or my clothing. Lots of random stuff in here that is just useful if you need it. I also tend to keep my car keys, my wallet, very important things in here, so I can grab this and run in case of an emergency. I will have emergency supplies, some very rudimentary first aid kit stuff in here, fire starter, a lighter, and all of my car keys and my information and, you know, credit cards, whatever, just in case I need that in any situation. So I also like to put my phone charger and cables in here as well. This is a great spot to keep that. It's waterproof, so it stays nice and clean. Everything's in one spot. There's usually room in here. I like to take up space, so if I can put my electronics in here as well as my emergency supplies, that will also ensure that if I grab my phone with me, I can charge it in case I need to call for help. So here's my little emergency kit. And again, I can go through all this stuff in another video if you'd like. Just wanted to keep this one a little bit brief, so it's always good. This is my headlamp. It's not kept in any kit or anything. I usually keep it in the side pocket of my backpack just so it's easily accessible and I don't lose it just loose in my pack somewhere, or if I need to get it, I'm not digging through my bag at night, anything like that. So I'll put this back in the hip belt, but I wanted to highlight headlamp, don't forget that. Alright, my favorite part, my tiny little kitchen. So here we have my water filter setup. I like to use the Sawyer Squeeze, and I use the CNOC bags for filtering. These things are great. You can carry, I think I have the 2-liter option, so I can carry 2 liters of water in here, and I can carry this in my bag without worrying about getting punctured or spilling or coming loose or anything like that. It's a really great brand. In here I also have the plunger. This is to clean my water filter. You can back flush it with clean water on the trail, and that ensures that everything is running smoothly, everything's clean, and that keeps you protected from getting pathogens on the trail. Here's my little kitchen. Everything fits inside this little pot. So inside here, I've got a lighter, my MSR Pocket Rocket stove, and my bandana, just cleaning, and it's also a pot holder in case things get hot. You can hold it on there. And this is how big is this? It is 1 liter pot with a lovely little lid that you can pour and strain from with little holes. So if you have pasta or something, it's very handy. I eat a lot of pasta. This thing has been big enough for everything that I need, whether it be ramen, mashed potatoes, pasta, really anything. So I found that it's perfect size for myself. So I like to just put everything in there. And if you have a very small thing of fuel, which I usually carry on smaller backpacking trips, that will also fit in here. So you can fit fuel, and my bandana, my stove, and my lighter. And it all fits into this nice little bundle. This is my brand new food pack from Hilltop Packs. It's Dyneema, so it's super strong. It has everything that I need in here, including a holder on the inside for my spoon. If you know me, you know I'm notorious for forgetting my spoon. So I have not forgot it since using this, because I clean it and I put it right back in its little pouch. And the capacity of this thing should last me, I think it's set up to like 7 days. So I think I could fit more in there though. All right, now we can get to the good stuff. This is most of the clothing that I would bring in any situation. So I'd like to break it down more seasonally if I could, because that's kind of how I hike, is seasonally. So, you know, cold, rainy, hot, sunny mixture of everything. So I think we can just start with a nice sunny summer day. You know, we're going backpacking, we're going out for a couple days. What am I bringing? So if it was just a normal summer day, beautiful weather, I don't have to worry about cold or rain or anything, I will pretty much wear not a lot. I've got some nice short shorts. These are probably about I don't know, 6-7 inch inseam, nothing too crazy, but something that can get some nice airflow, won't get too hot. So here's some nice shorts. One of my signature pink athletic shirts, of course. And with that, I would wear a sun hoodie. This thing is great because it offers a lot of sun protection, so you don't have to keep slathering on sunscreen and get all sticky. It also is great cooling effect, so if you do get a little sweaty, if it catches the air in any way, whether you're hiking or a breeze comes through, it'll cool you off. And also the hood is fantastic. It keeps the back of your neck protected, so you don't have to wear like a big sun hat or anything. Just wear a normal sun hoodie. And I will bring 2 pairs of regular socks with me, usually either Smartwool or Darn Tough. I believe these are both Darn Toughs. Usually crew socks or ankle socks. And I usually bring only 2 pairs, no matter how long I'll be out there, because I can wear one and I can kind of rinse some off and hang them up to dry, and I'll always have 1 clean pair of socks. And you really don't need more than that as far as hiking socks. You know, if you want, you can bring thinner pair or thicker pair. But that's going to be your preference. But I only like to bring really 2 pairs of hiking socks. To protect the socks and my shoes, I have these little Dirty Girl gaiters. These will cover the tops of my shoes and cover my socks to keep debris and dirt and pebbles and sand and whatever else out of my shoes, and that'll keep me going longer. So, speaking of shoes, in the summertime, I'll be wearing these trail runners. These are the Salomon Speedcross 6s. I'm a big fan of these. This is my 2nd pair, I believe. First pair was a present from my buddy James. Hey! And a couple accessories that I like to bring in the summertime is a very light buff. This one has a little bit of bug repellent inside of it, so it keeps the bugs away, keeps the sun off my neck. If I want, I can put it up over my head and keep my hair up out of my face. But I just tend to like these. I like to have them on hand. If it gets sweaty, you can always wipe your sweat away with it. You never know. And in the summertime, to keep my hands protected from the sun and to keep from blisters, I will also wear these sun gloves, these fingerless sun gloves. This is just the regular REI brand, but they've got some cushion to protect your hand from blisters, from trekking poles. And they also keep the sun off the back of your hands to keep from getting sunburns, so come a double whammy with these guys. I got these used, so you can find them pretty cheap. And no matter what season, I will always carry my fleece with me, because it gets cold at night. You know, sun goes down and you can't have a fire because it's burn ban and just get chilly, so I always like to bring my fleece with me. Here's kind of the basic summertime clothing, and we'll go over the sleep stuff here in a bit. So wintertime is a lot like summer, just a little different, a little thicker. So I would be wearing thicker pants and a long sleeve shirt, which I did not grab, but they are in a box somewhere. I will bring thicker socks. These are Smartwool, a little bit thicker, a little bit longer. Those will keep my feet a little more warmer, a little more protected. So I'll probably bring 2 pairs of these just to switch out. I've got some thicker gloves. These are Smartwool, and I like these guys because they're mittens and gloves. So if your hands get cold, you can kind of bundle them up in the mittens, but if you need access to your fingers, you just flip it right off and then you get access to your fingers. A little touch screen. It doesn't work because they never work. So yeah, I like these guys. Always good to have on hand. And I will wear a buff again, but this one is thicker. This one is by the brand Woolx, who is a good friend of mine. They've sent me a couple things in here, so this one I paid for. This is their neck gaiter that they have. It is made of wool and it is thick and buttery. Oh, so comfortable. So this guy's great because you can wear it as a neck gaiter and keep your neck warm like a scarf. You can raise it up and keep your ears warm and your nose warm. And you can also wear it around your head to keep your ears warm like a headband. So another versatile tool that'll just, doesn't take up any space and it's good to have. No. And I also like to bring my hat. This is Smartwool hat, and it's one of my favorites. This was a present from a good friend of mine. Okay. So I like this guy because it's cute and it's comfy and it's deceivingly warm because it doesn't look like it'd be warm, but it keeps my ears perfect temperature. It has ventilation so you can breathe because it's light, but it does keep my head nice and warm, which regulates the rest of the body temperature if you keep your head warm. So it's always important to have a good hat on a cold day. This goes pretty well into the sleeping clothes and the wintertime clothes. So I always like to bring a pair of thicker wool socks, no matter what time of the year, to wear to bed. And I get so cold at night, so this is super important for me to have personally because it just keeps me super toasty warm. This is Carhartt. I also have Woolx. I also have Smartwool. Yeah, I've got a lot of fluffy socks, so some of my favorites. And I have a couple different sleeping clothes that I like to switch out from. In the wintertime, I'll wear my Smartwool Duralite Frost leggings. These are very thick, very buttery, super comfy, and they keep me nice and warm. And if it's cold enough but not wet, I'll definitely hike in these, so you'll probably see me wear these a lot. And if it's not so cold, I will wear my Smartwool. So I've got tops and bottoms for both of these, Woolx and Smartwool. Smartwool is a little bit thinner, so I like to wear it when it's not snowing actively or frozen. It's really good to layer. It keeps you nice and warm while it wicks the moisture away, so if you wanted to hike in it, it's a great hiking shirt. But also if you wanted to sleep in it, it's nice and comfy and it doesn't get scratchy, so it's very nice to sleep in. And I have these as a top and a bottom, so it just depends on the weather. I'll switch out between the two, always kind of gauge the temperature for yourself and see what you're comfortable with. I sleep cold. Here is my bag that I put my clothes in. So yeah, I usually don't fill this up. It's usually maybe half full. This is where I keep my sleeping clothes, and then usually if I have the extra pair of socks that aren't dirty yet, I'll put these in here. If I do bring extra pair of clothes, underwear, I'll bring a couple pairs of underwear. I'll keep them in here, switch those out and wash those. So yeah, always in a bag for your clothes. So here's a seasonal item that I enjoy. These are my fake crampons. I call them crampons, but they're kind of like heavy duty spikes. They might be a little dirty. I don't want to get it on my bed. So these, they are dirty. So these guys are really nice in the ice. Not much else. They help with grip, keep you on the side of the mountain so you don't fall off. And they're pink. So I will just bring this bag with me in case there's any chance of snow or freezing temperatures. They're better to have than to not, and they don't take up very much space. So I'll bring these in the wintertime. And that brings us to the last of our items. So here's some more kind of specialty weather items. I will usually always bring a lightweight raincoat no matter what, but I like to pair it, just kind of being organized. But I will always bring a lightweight raincoat. And if the weather is looking like it, I also have these ultralight rain pants here. These guys weigh almost nothing and they take up almost no room in my pack. So I'll just throw these in there if there's any chance of rain and I'm covered. And my puffy. This one's a little bulky. I would eventually like to replace it, but I love it so much. It gets the job done and super cute, very comfortable. This is the REI brand. And yeah, I'll bring this with me if there's cold, freezing temperatures, snow, anything like that. It's so comfortable to wear at night. You've got the, fleece on, you've got this on, and you're in your down sleeping bag, and it's so cozy, got your hat on. So nice. Oh, and footwear during the cold and the rainy times is boots. These are very dirty, so I don't want to get them on my bed, but yes, I'll wear boots if it's cold or if there's rain in the forecast. And they don't dry as easy as the trail runners, but they are more comfortable and they do keep my feet warmer. So it just depends. If it's going to be very wet, sometimes it's worth it to wear the trail runners if it's not going to be cold. But yeah, that's another thing with just experience and your preference. Oh, dirt everywhere. Oh, dirt. This was a bad idea. I almost forgot some stuff. So the very important chair, my Helinox chair. This is the Chair Zero, and it weighs less than 1 pound. So if I could fit it in my pack, I'm usually bringing my chair. It is so worth it. Just to get elevated a little bit at the end of the day, stretch your feet out. It's so nice. So I almost forgot my chair. Tragic. Tragic. And of course, my favorite hat. If you pair this with the sun hoodie or the light gaiter, it is like the ultimate sun protection. Sunglasses on, yeah, keeps everything out your face. Really nice. So I almost forgot my hat and my chair, but can fit those. And I also almost forgot water bottles. So I usually carry 2 just store brand like Smart Water type 1 liter bottles. I'll carry 2 of those with me, and usually switch those out, and one of them is for clean water in case I want to make any drink mix, electrolyte mixes or anything like that, and then one of them is for dirty water, so I can screw my Sawyer filter right onto the bottle and filter to my other bottle. So that's also why you didn't see water bottles. I don't have any right now, but I wanted to note that as well, that I usually carry 2 1 liter bottles and then my 2 liter bladder capacity, so I always have plenty of water available. So yes, didn't want to forget that. Well, everybody, thanks for coming along with me, checking out my gear and bearing with me while I try this new process. I probably messed up some stuff that I'll fix in the edits here in just a little bit, but I really appreciate all the support. Don't forget to follow along, like, subscribe, hit ring the bell, do all those silly things. And if you want to see more of my life, my photography, don't forget to follow my Instagram. It'll also be down there somewhere. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you out there.